Wow, man, oh man.
So we got.
What they got to say?
We're gonna talk to them first.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you had. You already started. So, as y'all know, Trump has been given immunity. It's full, but it's also a little bit. It's still a little bit partial, but it's full enough to where he's good. Yeah, I saw it right now.
At least it don't smell like coffee. Smell like toothpaste. Okay.
Yeah, it's a full immunity. It's full immunity, but it's not so full. But basically, they have no ability to make all the changes to reverse things. So it's over. It's over. So Trump has immunity.
So glad.
And this was actually a super surprise. I thought that, I'll be honest with you, I thought this was going to be something going on well even after he became president. This is something well in the background. But
I honestly didn't know what was going to happen. I was just nervous for him. And honestly, I'm just going to say I have really been praying.
But we've been talking about this a little bit. Doesn't this concern you a little bit? That it just sprung
up out of the blue?
Right after the debate. It's just now to immunity. See, y'all could have given immunity but y'all did it at a certain time. Why?
But okay, I don't know.
I ain't trying to be a conspiracy theorist.
No, we're not going to get on that.
But I'm saying they whisked through and gave the immunity. Y'all should have been giving him immunity.
Exactly.
So, but then why you just, okay, good.
When the truth is right here. So, I mean, this is a big win.
It's a humongous win.
And I feel like this is part of justice is being served, considering all the stuff that he's been going through in New York. That's just like, he got a break. Because I truly have been praying.
So what's going on the Fannie one? Now that this one is straight, what's the Fannie stuff?
I don't know. I haven't tapped into Fannie.
Anybody ever talked about that?
I haven't been tapping into that.
But I guess it don't matter. He's immunity on this whole thing, so he can keep going forward. That Fannie thing is probably it's so twisted and turned with the Fannie side on it. It's probably on the back burner until the next court date, which is probably ain't no telling when that is.
Yeah,
but as a sitting president, does he have to go into any kind of courtrooms as a sitting president? I don't think so. I think they have to hold all that stuff.
You're asking questions that I don't know yet. I haven't read or I haven't heard that. But what we got right here?
So the person you spoke of, Nancy Pelosi, right? I'm gonna just put this up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
She said today the Supreme Court has gone rogue with this decision, violating the foundational American principle that no one is above the law. The former president claims of total presidential immunity is an insult to the vision of our founders who declared independence from a king. No, y'all are upset that your plot and your presidential and your government schemes did not work. So now this is all the ushering in of the whole make everybody be fearful and just run and vote for whoever the Democratic nominee president is, whether if it's Joe Biden or whoever. This is the beginning of their fear tactic. Now they move to fear tactic mode, and next is going to be talk about this. This all you're not going to have this if he come president. He going to take all your rights.
Who are they going to convince? They must be trying to convince the people who are in the middle, those that may be indecisive, because those who have been supporting Trump, and then the other people who have been paying attention and making their own decisions based off of the facts. Who are they going to persuade? We already see what's going on. This should, like you said, this should have been
Do you feel like
overruled.
Do you feel like this is still also a ploy, like a plot, and there's more to come because we still got 5 months?
I'm just curious to see who the Democratic candidate truly is going to be, because we already see since the debate, no one is convinced that President Biden is capable of maintaining another 4 years. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking about. I can't think about none of the other stuff in that way. I, like to pay attention to the facts, and I don't like to assume, because that stresses me out.
Okay.
So I clearly want to see who they are going to have as a Democratic
I want to see that
candidate, and the strategy, because this is all about strategy.
It's all about strategy. As of right now, it hadn't been announced from Biden and running. He just did a meet, or whatever you call it, when he meets and talks to the people. There's probably 6 people in that room, and he was talking about how how now Trump can or any other president after Trump can do whatever they want. No, I hate the termage. They thought they could smash this whole thing on the back end. And now it's on the front end. It's going to look bad. And if his team comes out and they find out the ploy schemes behind it and that gets released, people have already lost faith in the government. They already had lost faith in the government. That really will do an uptick. And he didn't say about, anything about him running or anything like that. I personally think that his ego is still trying to let him run, but he would not be on the nominee list for coming
November.
up. I don't think he's going to be on the pick list.
I think, his team, I'm sure, is clearly trying to tell him, look, it's really, and then also the people who are going to be trying to contribute to his campaign are changing their mind. So if they pull out completely, no money, no campaign.
Let's play this clip. So this clip came from Fox News. Let's drop it.
Fox News Alert, we're going to get out of that commercial break because we have word that the Supreme Court has issued a ruling on the extent of presidential immunity from criminal prosecution for conduct alleged to involve official acts during the tenure of President Trump. This is the big one we've been waiting for.
Yes.
It's consequential. It's really interesting that the Supreme Court in 248 years of our history has never actually ruled on this. So it is big and sweeping. And I have our political panel looking over this right now. Andy McCarthy, Chief Justice John Roberts has the writing on this. He's got the pen. Is that significant?
It's very significant. It's the most important case of the term in terms of the long-term interests of the executive branch, in terms of the short-term interests of Donald Trump. And it looks like, at least within the bounds of clear executive authority, what Chief Justice Roberts is saying is that the president clearly has immunity from prosecution. So the question is going to be, again, I think Trey underscored this before, is what is an official act? There's going to be a lot of litigation about that, and what's close to the core of clear executive constitutional authority versus the outer ambit of it.
Brett?
Do we have Shannon? Is she going through the paperwork? Shannon, you there?
Yes. Yes, I am here, if you can hear me.
Okay.
Let me read you a little bit of what we have from the court. It does find this. Under our constitutional structure of separated powers, the nature of presidential power entitles a former president to absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for actions within his conclusive and preclusive constitutional authority. He is entitled to at least presumptive immunity from prosecution for all his official acts. There is no immunity for unofficial acts. That's the first blush we've got on this. It looks like a 6-3 split. We've got the dissent by Justice Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson join that. There is a kind of split decision on some of these. Somebody joins in one part, not in another part, but that's the overall holding of the court. So what it means now, we'll have to dig into this and see if they tell us now, how do you decide an official act versus an unofficial act? Because that's going to be critical, having now said the president does have absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for actions within his conclusive and preclusive constitutional authority. We'll dig in, see how they define those official acts, and look for a little bit more from you from the opinion. But at first blush, this looks like it is going to be a win for the argument for presidential immunity when it comes to allegations of criminal activity.
What's interesting is that, I'm sure if you're the Biden White House, you're paying close attention to this as well, because in the situation that we find ourselves in the utilization of the justices in politics. Let me go to you, Jonathan Turley, for a reaction to this decision so far.
Well, this is along the lines of what many of us anticipated, that the court did not go with absolute immunity on everything, but did say that there's absolute immunity when it comes to core constitutional powers. We're still going through the opinion to see if there's any assistance on where that line is to be drawn. This case is going to have to go back to the district court, which is going to have to try to sort of thread this needle to determine what in the case would not fall under these protections.
Okay.
But this is obviously a win for President Trump in the sense that the special counsel was arguing, as with the lower court, that there was very little immunity here to be concerned with. The counsel for the government was assuring the court that they really didn't have much to be concerned with here in terms of any changes in the status of the case. That's clearly not what won the day. The court here is saying that we do need lines here drawn to protect presidents so they have some breathing room. And you have to sort of wonder how the context affected the justices. I mean, if they want to look at the implications of leaving presidents without protection, they just need to look around the country. Even though Manhattan was not a federal case, it was a political prosecution in the view of many of us that was rather raw and open. And so this is a context that must have concentrated the minds of these justices as they did what Justice Gorsuch said and tried to write for the ages, to have something not for this case, but for future cases and future presidents.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian.
Okay, so I'm clear now. So it's not necessarily in regards to what happened at the White House per se. It's more so as to all of the things that they're saying is being charged against him, and also the voter fraud situation.
Okay.
So they have to be specific as to what is going to be considered immunity and what's, what things they have to say, okay, well, no, we can follow through with this suit, but no, not this suit.
Okay.
That's what it seems like they just said. So that's still a win.
Still a win.
It's still a win.
It's still a win.
It is still a win.
And that seems like that win is enough so that he can move forward and go and get out of this stuff so he can focus on country.
It seems like 100 pounds was lifted off his back.
It should be.
And I know it's just like when it's not.
And we're going to go to the next clip too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just feel like when justice should be served, it should be served. The way things have been happening has just been something that we've never, ever experienced in our whole entire life.
And we probably will never experience it again.
In this country. I mean, we have never seen so many things that have been done just completely wrong.
Correct.
How much of this video
this
is
it's short.
Okay.
So on this clip.
'Cause I already don't like the title.
So on this clip, man, this still show you, no matter his immunity, no matter that you have a current sitting president that has no right to be there anymore. He's done his time. he's aged himself out of his position, and he has a decline going on cognitively and a decline physically. You still have people that still think everyone still should vote for Biden.
They don't. Okay, let's go ahead and focus here.
What happened?
Right, he just did it to himself.
Francesca, the problem is, from the moment he got convicted of that crime, what happened? He raised $150 million in 1 week.
From billionaires, but not from everyday people. Ordinary people aren't giving to Donald Trump. If anything, they're just not going to vote for him.
I've not met any American since that conviction who doesn't just feel a bit embarrassed. A bit embarrassed it ever happened. It was embarrassing. For America,
I'd also like to correct the record, if you don't mind, Piers, because Francesca said that I accused Joe Biden of being a mastermind. I have never once in my life accused Joe Biden of being a mastermind or even possessing one.
Do you know what? There's a clip on, I've said this before, but there's a clip on YouTube of him talking to a Senate congressional hearing about apartheid South Africa. He must be in his early 40s, Biden. He is fantastic. He's passionate, he's intelligent, he's articulate, he's eloquent, he's brilliant.
Old school Biden.
That guy would be a fantastic president. That guy has long ago left the building. And it's actually,
old Biden.
On a human level, it's very sad. But at the same time, he is the president of the United States, and he wants to run another 4 years. I mean, Destiny, with all the best will in the world, he'll be lucky to make it to election day.
Yeah.
By 4 more years. Can you imagine what Biden will be like in 4 years?
Listen, if they wheel that dude out and he's got an IV drip in him, I'm still voting for him over Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I love Kamala Harris as much as I don't. Yeah, absolutely. What do you mean? It's the idea of not accomplishing anything versus heading off whatever direction Donald Trump wants to take us. Yeah.
If they literally wheel him out, you would still vote for him.
That's delusionism.
Kamala Harris, Jill could walk out on stage with an urn saying, "This is the president."
Pause.
Okay.
I cannot believe that, and this dude is dead serious on his thought. This dude is.
What you mean? Whatever direction he's going to take us in the same direction that he was in his first term in regards to betterment for the country. Hopefully there's nothing else that's going to hit our country in regards to health scare, where what happened during his term. Hopefully there's nothing that's going to be anything similar to that. But if there is, at least he has the experience, or if there was, at least he has an experience now of how to handle it, and he has trusty advisors. Fauci is not a person to be able to have to go to in a situation like that.
Yeah.
They will have somebody else who operates with integrity and honor and really care for the people and whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. But please, what you mean you don't know what direction? Yes, you do. They just don't want their jobs to be taken because he's going to clean house.
No, but
listen
to this. No, I'm saying this dude is the dude on the left side people. Look at his eyes.
I know. I just said
these are the people that want. They want what they call a democracy, a fallen, crushed democracy, just so that they can say that they didn't want that guy in there. You know, it's ridiculous.
It is.
Okay. Here he is, and I say, man, this is really annoying.
He did.
Destiny, you can't be serious.
Joe Biden said he wanted to be FDR, so, you know, die in office, I guess.
Destiny, you would vote for Joe Biden's urn with his ashes inside rather than Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
Insane.
Easiest decision in my life.
He's a psycho.
Yeah.
You psycho to me.
Francesca, would you do that?
Kamala's just like, are you kidding me?
Francesca, would you do that?
Would I vote for an urn?
Yes.
No. The Democratic Party is doing their own base a massive disservice by keeping Joe Biden in this race. They absolutely are. They're not even creating a new lineup, a new roster of Democrats to come into the wake.
Right.
They can't even rely on their own vice president. They haven't given her enough leash to actually say anything other than her one catchphrase that makes my mind just boggle.
Right.
It's really pathetic, and it's pathetic because actually the administration has done some good things. Infrastructure plan, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, the things that Donald Trump keeps on squirming about.
I don't disagree. I think there's on legislature, there's a lot of good stuff to talk about. He just can't talk about it because he's not able to articulate what he's done. Let me ask you about
Did you see the handshake, though? The 3-point handshake.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, well, I mean, I do agree with her when she said that, you know, if you're going to have somebody give your people an opportunity to have someone that they feel proud of in there that can represent their stances.
Correct.
I don't have to agree with them. I don't have to vote for your candidate, but at least have somebody up there who can run. Run.
That dude said,
"Oh my gosh,
Jill could bring Joe out in the urn, and he's still voting for him." I believe.
You think so?
No, I've seen this guy on something else. It was another debate. No, he was on Hodge Twins. He was on Twin Pods, and he was just talking. I mean, he just has a straight allegiance to the old man. Like, I'm like, dude, won't you just go and put your energy on the next candidate that you think gonna run? Put all your energy and love and all that energy into the next person, because Biden ain't gonna be the one.
Well, at least
he's not the goose anymore for them.
You know, I definitely can agree with the lady on that part. It's like, you know, they are doing their party a great disservice by not even bringing up someone who is a reputable candidate to go against the Republican candidate for president. Correct. You know, come on. Yeah, he's not going to.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over, but we don't know what's to come. That's the crazy thing. I always get on, I'll see me talk about that every video, how ashy. That's what's making it crazy. Everybody. So I just think it's ridiculous. They don't have a lineup, and they have a so-called lineup, and I believe that they do have a lineup to a degree, but they're not announcing it. I believe that the people when we had when they had the debate, I believe the people that were there that were the big importance. You saw Vivek Ramaswamy.
Where were they?
He was doing an interview. They did an interview, and they were talking with.
This was after the fact.
After the fact.
Okay, but they weren't in the audience, were they?
Yes.
Oh, were they?
They were there.
Okay, I didn't know.
So you have Vivek, and then on the other side, you know, not on that particular conversation, he was meeting with somebody else. Gavin Newsom was there. I believe the key the key people on the chessboard were there in that room.
Oh,
you had Trump.
So they were able to watch
Biden.
it.
Yep. You had Gavin Newsom was there, and you had Vivek Ramaswamy. You also had what's his name, Mike Gregg, or the other guy. I don't think it's gonna be him. You had you had Vivek, you had Gavin Newsom, Trump, and Biden with that. This is why I think everyone should pay attention to that circle. These are the key things that people have been worrying about through the year. And the whole thing, when I saw Gavin there, I was like, okay.
Well, where was I? I didn't see any of them.
You couldn't see him at all. You saw him when they were talking to him afterwards.
Okay, yeah, I must not have been zoomed in. or man, I got up
and he still
started
believes
doing
that Joe
other
Biden
stuff.
is doing a good job.
I think they're just telling him this to make him feel good, but he knows, and that's the thing.
You think they know? He knows that he's gonna get.
You can't outfool yourself as much as you may want to. Biden knows the condition and the state that he's in. He can't play himself.
No,
he can't.
No,
he knows every single thing that he's had to go through to get to that place that day to be on that stage.
Right.
He knows about him having to wear the pins. He knows all the times that he falls. He knows he is not the man that he was in 2020.
Pride.
Especially cognitively. Let's not play no games.
Pride.
You can try to lie to yourself, but you can't. You
Pride.
know exactly what's going on with you, period. So he is very aware.
Pride.
I feel like they say this to him to try to pump him up, but they know they're going to pull him before the end.
Do you think
not,
that
he's
a president? No. So when you come, they have executive decisions. Do you think they're always privy to what's about to happen? I think they get some kind of update, but some we about to have a meeting. Because when is the Camp David meeting? Because they're supposed to have that meeting to talk.
I think those who are supposed to know are aware.
Yeah.
And those who don't need to know don't know. They're gonna find out when everybody else find out.
Could you imagine the pay grade of the people that have to go and tell that we're gonna sit you down? You imagine the pay grade they on?
I mean, but it's like his
people make more than the
people in
president
his team have
and the White
already
House.
known the condition that he's in. We as the public just don't have privy to that because we don't see him on a daily basis.
No.
We only see him when he gets himself, propped up and ready to come and address the nation.
Pretty much.
So it's nothing brand new, as some of his support has said. The aides and the people that work with him on a regular basis. My God, what about the Secret Service? They see everything.
Do you remember when Trump was running, how it was all those memes about how his body looked and his health? You remember that?
And he walked up on that stage with ease and glide.
And then now you look
strength and stability.
Right. And now you look at you point to his opponent and you be like, yo.
Well, the world has seen now exactly the true, real condition that he's in. He can do whatever tests he want to try to do, or put whatever medication they want to try to put him on.
Pump him through 4 years.
It's not going to work. He is declining, and that's just a fact.
And on that note, 2024 be more.
Talk less.
We'll see you on the next one.